Welcome to the Beet Goes On podcast. And in this episode, as the year is ending, we want to just reflect on
2024.
Yeah. And then where we're going to go 2025. So this year was good. I mean, I think I learned a lot. The podcast definitely grew. We've gotten tons more downloads.
Yes.
Every time I get the email, I get excited. So we're getting tons more downloads. Originally, this was just for the spray tan partners. I wanted them to hear the voices of people who inspire me as they grow their spray tan business, but it actually has inspired others. So we have more downloads than expected, which we're so grateful for.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone in the Savannah community who listens to us every week and supports Michelle in this show.
Yeah. So it's made me want to do more podcasts. So but with this specific podcast, I have another podcast that we're doing. So you'll see that coming in 2025. It's more, it's no emotion.
It's less about tans, more about life.
It's about Savannah. So I love Savannah so much. And when Savannah welcomed this podcast and listened to it, I thought I'd have a fun one just for Savannah. But this year, I'd say, let's talk about 2024. So
yes. This was our
who was your
second year
favorite
working
guest?
together.
I know. Second year with Missy. Missy and I have never we've really have not had a hiccup. It's been really easy.
Yeah, it's been pretty seamless. And something that I really love about working with you is you always inspire me to think bigger.
Oh, I love that.
So, I think we started out being like, let's just interview business owners and learn about their, struggles getting set up and trial and error, because that would kind of, gear our spray tan partners to not lose motivation. Because I think a lot of the times people sign up for the spray tan packages and then they get set up, but then at some point they kind of fizzle or feel a little bit
I like
stuck.
to say, okay, I'm certified. I can spray tan. Now what?
Now what?
That's part of the training. But the podcast is to help them not feel alone along the way and have a voice. And I'll get feedback from them and give that fear a voice. Like, they need to know they're not alone.
No. And I think you do a good job throughout your interviews with, obviously we talk to a lot of our spray tan partners at Beettan, but we also talk to just local business owners. And I think a lot of it is just understanding that there's no formula or right way to run a business or to, handle your first year doing anything. And you're going to run into obstacles. And I think it's all about offering insights and resources to keep that momentum going and to not be discouraged when you hit a roadblock.
Because there's emotions with owning a business, and you need to know you're not alone in that. But I think the common thing that every single business owner, whether it was a spray tan partner, I remember every single one, I'm trying to think specifically one that I remember said it, but it was Emily McCarthy, Elizabeth Siegel with Satchel, some people who have really taken their business to a big level. They're mentors of mine and they inspire me. Everyone said, whether it was a spray tan partner or someone that has this big, humongous company, said, you just got to keep going. I mean, everybody said that.
And there's going to be unforeseen circumstances. So I know you asked kind of at the beginning of this, what was one of my favorite episodes? And I'd have to say our interview with Morgan Bryant, who owns Morgan Ray Boutique.
Yeah, she was
So that was our first one of 2024. And I feel like she knocked it out of the park because she had all of her ducks in a row setting up her business. And she even took a lease on a second story, which has its own challenges with foot traffic. But then the city shut her section of the street down.
Well, she even was so vulnerable and told us about her business, the first location not working and failing.
Yeah.
And then she just kept going and opened a second location. And then COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, the city shut down the street right in front of her shop. And she was already on the second floor, like you said. So she just kept going. And now she has, she's had a lot of success in that location.
And she's developed an app, or she's really expanded past what she thought.
And she had to pivot. I think she had to get a roommate or something. I don't remember the exact word or the exact situation, but she had to pivot to keep that business because she loved that business that much. And I've had to do those same pivots, so I get it. And I think it's good to hear the sacrifices that go into owning and running a business. It really is not for the
Yeah. And
for the week.
I think we all set out, on our own entrepreneurial adventures, kind of with a vision of what we're going to do. And we don't take into account, the exterior circumstances that may not be with your business and your structure. It's just maybe zoning issues or employee problems. There's a lot of factors.
a lot. And on social media, we all look like we've got it going on and have it all put together, but we're not going to post all the drama and the pitfalls of the business. So I love that she got vulnerable and shared that. I don't know, who was another one of your favorites?
So that's like asking me who my favorite kids are, because I think all of our guests are fabulous. I did really like the episode with Erica Palisano.
Yes.
Erica, I love you. I'm sorry.
Yes. I love that one with her because she's a good friend of mine. And I felt like I was just on the couch being normal. It wasn't, but she just cares so much about small business or about business. She's so business minded. She wants to help people. If you're sitting down with Erica, she's always telling you her knowledge and something. She wants to help people even outside of the office. Anytime I sit down with her, we just geek out over all kinds of business stuff, even if it's not related to our current business. I love how she's willing to help anybody. Like, she'll tell her expertise in Google. And
exactly.
And I love the two people that we've already talked about are coming to the Beet Retreat in January. So I have a funny episode, which makes no sense for any of this.
Please.
The dating one as a business
God.
owner. I just decided to bring my my Bumble date.
Blake.
Was that his name? Oh my gosh.
I hope that was your name, Blake. Sorry. I hope you're very happy and like married now.
I hope you're happy and married too.
Yes.
Where he did not make it with me. He was bold enough and brave enough to, on the date, we talked about the podcast. It wasn't planned. We were like on the date.
We literally just threw him in front of the camera.
I was like,
and he
Missy's
had
there.
So much
Do you
fun
want to?
with it.
Because we had a lunch and I was like, I got to go. We had a lunch date.
And this man drove all the way from Charleston to meet up with you. Like,
I
that
know.
is a big effort. So points to him. He's a great guy. If he's still on the market, we will recommend him to anyone.
We recommend Blake. He was sweet.
Yes.
But that was just like a funny
I thought it was like
pivot.
A refreshing, different thing to do. And like that, being a business owner and dating has its own challenges altogether as well. So
opposites.
One of my also favorite episodes that actually led me to a great opportunity was when you had Amy Shippey on. Lady Bizwiz, she is fabulous. And I lucked out because you've been a huge part of me growing my own business as a videographer. And when we did an interview with her after, Amy was like, I would love, your business card. I have a podcast and I've always wanted to do a video project, and I've helped her make an 8-hour master's class. So
yeah, she is a master's class, and I learned a lot about what I want to implement in the Beettan training, because essentially our training continues as a master class, and I learned so much from that episode with her. And so you guys have to watch that.
I think for you guys listening, any of the partners or anyone who's just interested in, running their own business, it's through her website, ladybizwiz.com, but she has a whole like intro to becoming like a business owner and just knowing the differences between like labor laws and how to like have contractors, and are you selling a service or a product. So if you just want to jump in but don't know where to start, it's a great resource.
I just remembered a favorite, Kate and Britt, the dance studio owners.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what's cool about Kate, and she's so fun to watch. So Kate, I love watching you and all you're doing on Tybee Island. Listen to that episode. I cried. I think I was having an emotional day.
You were.
But they're just the sweetest friend. I love how they met. I love what they're doing for the community. I love their families. They're so cute. But Kate has opened with my friend Mary Liz, who was on the podcast in 2023. They opened up a surf shop called Swell, which is by Huckapoo. So Kate now has 2 projects going on, and she has 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
She's impressive. So we'll have her and Mary Liz back on in 2025.
Yes. And then
to talk about their new business.
What about your friend out in Richmond Hill who has like the health
Jessica Taylor
wellness?
Oh my gosh. And we're going to do an episode where we do a follow-up. So she was in Richmond Hill. It's functional medicine. I went to her. She now has opened up a Savannah office.
Oh, wow.
So I go to the Savannah office, and we're in the process of trying to understand my hormones.
Oh, good.
But I'll tell you what I love about Jessica. She was great on the podcast. She's a very good physician. I feel heard. So I went through the process, and I keep talking about crying, but I was sitting in her office for almost 2 hours. Like, it was not a 15-minute. It's not a 15-minute doctor's session. It was 2 hours. It's mind, body, and soul. Then I go get blood work, and then we go from there. But it was 2 hours, and she asked me a lot of questions, and they were emotional questions too, because it's all tied together, and you don't usually get that. Nobody really wants to hear about your childhood trauma when you go to the primary care physician.
I think,
but it's all played into how you respond to treatments,
and how
life.
your body responds to stuff. And I think understanding your nervous system and when you're in fight or flight, or if you're being overregulated. I
really enjoyed that session, and I really enjoyed having her on the podcast, and I also enjoyed going through the process with her and her business. And I'm so proud of her. It's a beautiful space. She's taken it on alone, one woman show, because the other gal's at a different location. So definitely listened to that. That was Rise Health and Wellness. It's funny because this year it spun off to like different ideas for next year. Next year is going, I think we're going to kick off and have some people interviewed at the Beet Retreat. So we'll have a lot of partners on there. And the speakers will be there too. So we'll kick off the year with pretty heavy.
And I think that was an update that I really enjoyed in this season, was having more of the partners like speak to their stories. Like Amy Russell, that was probably one of my favorites.
She's
and
so sweet.
Meeting her at the beginning of her journey, and when we did that podcast interview, and then, I see her from time to time. Like, if you're busy or out of town, she's my call, and she'll like move mountains to come and spray me. Which,
she has the hustle.
And you know what? I can just see the personal development and the journey within her, that she is like thriving and like finding alignment in her life. And a huge part of that was just taking the step into, signing up with Beettan.
Yeah. So she was a spray tan customer that turned into a partner, and now she's really come such a long way. And what I love the most about her is she's always smiling. She's just got the best, warmest, happiest personality, which is what you want out of a spray tan person, because you're spray tan artist.
Yeah,
because you're taking your clothes off and
getting naked.
Yeah, she is wonderful. I also like having Jessica on. She was a calming presence, but she's really direct and articulates well with how the growth of her business. She's been with Beettan for years. She was really helpful. And she was in her bathroom, remember? And her dog kept trying to get in.
Yes. No, I agree. And I think that it's nice when they can take the time for us, because that's a huge like heartbeat to our entire community, is just like hearing each other's stories and experiences and learning from each other. And I love how this community like motivates each other to keep going. The products are amazing, but the community is really what
the community is
thrive.
Really what sets Beettan apart from other sunless tanning companies. I don't think that any other sunless tanning company has a community.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a customer base, like where we're very community and lifestyle, and
it's super special.
Yeah, we're about, a tan makes you feel better, but this is so much more than that. When you're buying a Beettan product, you are supporting a bunch of women's dreams.
Yeah.
And we all, love that part of it.
And I think it's interesting, like, I don't know if a lot of the listeners know my backstory in relationship to Beettan, because I'm obviously not a partner, but I have a cool testimonial. So I met Michelle like 10 years ago. I was just graduating from film school at SCAD, and I was a regular at Social Club where you were working. You invited me to be a spray tan model because I was so fair and pale. But
I said that. I said, you're very pretty and pale.
Yeah, you're like,
you're so my model.
You're like, oh my gosh, Missy, you're so pretty. Have you ever thought about being a model? And I was like, nobody's ever asked me that. And you're like, you're just so pale, which I love.
I think I said fair.
Fair. Anyway, nonetheless, I am a pale, pasty girl, which is fine. And so the product back then obviously was just like the starting point of where you're at now. But I used to get spray tanned for proms and stuff when I was in high school, and I always veered away from it because like I'm a cool tone type of person, and all of the bronzers and like the spray tan machines and all that just made me like orange. It just didn't sit well on my skin at all. So when I got sprayed by you, I was I felt like it unlocked a new level for me because I
Mhm.
finally found a product that like matched my skin and I didn't just look like an Oompa Loompa.
Yes.
And now that I've worked with you for all these years and seeing other people who don't use Beettan, I can like see the orange,
Yeah,
you know,
can
like it's
you can see it.
yes.
And
So
I mean, there are other products out there that are good, but everything that comes with Beettan is pretty special. Like
definitely.
the products immediately won her over, but now
Yeah, the
fast forward-
quality won me over. Yeah,
and
the
then
service,
fast forward
but
to
yeah, so well, I helped you with like photos and content,
lot,
and this
yeah.
was like back before social media was really like before Instagram. I remember you were just like on Facebook.
Yeah,
and,
I
you
was
know,
like, I do not want.
we
an
didn't have
Instagram.
social media resources for marketing, but you know, you
Yeah.
were collaborating with Emily when she was at Mamie Ruth
Mhm.
on the top of Liberty and
Yeah.
Whitaker, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like go to the little pop-up events that y'all had and take photos,
Mhm.
and then
Oh yeah, because she had the office above
yeah.
it too. Gosh, I forgot about that.
Well, anyway, so I moved away. This was like 2014. And then we stayed in touch, but I like wasn't in Savannah for a while. And then 2 years ago, I moved back from New York. And it's funny because like I was working a corporate job. I was so burnt out and like I got laid off. I was, you know, in a relationship that broke off. I just felt like rock bottom,
Mhm.
no money, no job, no man. How can my life get any worse? And so I was applying for jobs to get back into corporate, and I just kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And that was just like so hard,
It's like
especially when
salt
you're
on
a
the
high
wound.
functioning, you know, film person. And so then one day it was like early March, I got a call from you and you were just like, hey, I heard you're back in town. Do you want to come and make content for Beettan and like run my podcast? And that was like the best job offer I could have gotten. And I didn't even apply for it. You know, it felt like a sign from the universe. And it's been a wild ride ever since. But you were a huge component for me to have the courage to like start my own business and like put myself out there. And it's just, you know.
And Danielle has a similar
Yeah.
story too. Our digital marketing director, Danielle, that's a lot of D's. She was a she left a accounting firm to come work for me. She was really unhappy. Just I think bored.
Yeah.
I mean, how much?
Yeah, or feeling
marketing
stagnant. I was feeling that way too, or
Yeah.
just very rinse and repeat,
And
not creative stuff.
couldn't even really afford her at the time, but I brought her in, and then you know we went through all kinds of stuff together, and it's worked out so great. And she's able to make more income because she is so talented and
Yeah,
can
and can
multitask.
contract. Yeah.
And she can stay at home with her daughter. And I encouraged her to do that. And one day she sent me a text saying a thank you. And here's how I encouraged. I was like, just do it. Like, and that sometimes with my friends, I'm a little, it comes off a little harsh.
Yeah.
But that's how I have to be spoken to like that. That's how I learned.
Yeah, and I think your heart's in the right place.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love how you also have like an open door policy. You know, like we were doing full-time stuff earlier in the year, and then we hit a slow season, and like instead of it being a riff or like, you know, we can't do full-time,
Right.
that really gave me an opportunity to like bring on more clients and like open up my services and all that, you know, like really grow my business outside of what we were doing
And
together
then Amanda,
here.
who was like I mean, she really, I don't know what she was. Like
She's
she
fabulous.
Did so much.
She's so great.
She's so
Yeah.
great. She did so much of everything, but she's also a makeup artist. So she came on because she's in the beauty industry, and she helped me get organized. And she honestly like found some stuff on the back end of things that was going on that could have been detrimental to the company or on her in her first week. And she stuck and worked full time, and then her role changed. And I spoke to her on the phone for an hour yesterday. She branched off and started doing makeup and spray tanning.
Yeah.
And so she's still involved with the company, but she's her own independent too. So I love how people become more independent.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is again, which is so not corporate. Beettan is not ran like that. Everyone who's come to work for Beettan ends up an independent.
Yeah, but that's what sets this company apart from like any other, you know, people who try to franchise out or whatever. Like having a partnership here, it's really what you want to make of it. It could be just like a gig basis that you do on the side of your full-time job. It can become your full-time job. You have artists who make 6 figures, you know, just spray tanning. You've ones who have brick and mortars. Like, you know, it's really what you make of it. And I think I'm glad that we can use this podcast as like a platform to encourage and motivate people to just keep going, because you're going to hit obstacles no matter what. No matter what kind of business you're in, it's all learning process.
It's all learning. And I think going into the new year, we need to tap into more of that. And I think the Beet Retreat's a good place to get a ton of interviews. We should, we'll interview the partners that are there, but we also have speakers and coaches.
Yeah.
It'll be a good pull away. Yeah. It'd be a good to pull them away. Interviews. So we're going to start the year off with a ton of interviews, because I think there are like 40 people going all together. So that'll be cool. And then I think just doing more like that, bringing people who are knowledgeable in business and specifically service-based businesses, so that we can keep mentoring and encouraging each other and inspiring each other. Because whether you're in the very beginning stages of your business or you've been open 10, 15, 20 years, you have to constantly pivot and grow. There is, like you said earlier, there is no formula. There is no map. Like, it's constantly changing.
And another favorite episode, like, we can kind of come to a close with this, but I think it's worth anyone who like listens to our show, on a weekly basis. I would go back and check out Michelle's Origin of Beettan's episode, because really, I think that kind of summarizes exactly what we were talking about, where like you start off by like, you feel really alone when you cast this vision and like set off as a business owner.
And that's normal.
But I think along the way, like, you've learned so many things and overcomes, like, your first spray tan business burnt down.
Yeah.
Or, it can't get much more rock bottom than that. And but that was almost like a blessing in disguise, because
I ended up at a new
and everything. You kind of got a chance
I bought into a franchise that went south. Like, I had a lot of struggles, and I even quit.
Yeah. And it's okay to quit
back, and I came back. So the partners out there, going into the new year, I wish I wouldn't have quit, but if you have to, you can always come back, because I did.
Yeah. And it's an open door policy here. And like, I'm so proud of you and what you've built, because everybody that we've talked about on this podcast has unlocked this part of their life where you're living on your own terms. Like, I love that you have this gorgeous apartment in the top of Drayton Tower, and then your shop is at the bottom. So you can kind of like have your brick and mortar, but have your life, be flexible. You're not just like stuck at a desk. I can be flexible
for my clients, which I love.
Exactly.
I also do need to leave my corner sometimes, but I do love it here.
Yeah, but you've built a life you don't want to escape from. I've
simplified my life, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, this has been opportunities for me, not to say I feel like a completely different person, but like over the past 2 years, working with Beettan has like helped me transform into a bigger, better version of myself. I mean, you spray tanned me on the news in Charleston.
Oh my
I would
gosh,
never get into a bikini on
I was like, Missy,
live
can you come
news?
And we'll do some content, but also can you wear a bikini?
Yeah, she's like, I need a model
on the news. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, of course.
And she did it.
The one city where everyone is blonde and gorgeous, I was pale, and it still ended up really well. But
yeah, she did great. She looked beautiful.
But at the same time, it's all about putting yourself out there. Like, if I've learned anything, if you don't kind of take a gamble and take risks, like, you're never going to grow in your safe zone. And even though life might feel comfortable.
What? Some people, they like the safe zone. They like the 9 to 5. They like that. And that's okay, because it is not for the weak. Owning a business is not.
No, but that also might.
I'm not saying anybody's weak, but I'm saying it's hard.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
Yes,
yeah,
it's hard and it's not easy. And in our training with Beettan, I never say this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Like, I will teach you and we'll be here for you every step of the way. But you have to do a lot of work, and there are hard days. There are hard months.
But you know what? I think that not taking risks and playing it safe and just being like staying inside of your comfort zone, that's going to lead to why you feel stuck.
Yeah.
And why you're not growing and why you're not expanding or going at the trajectory or pace that you want.
Well said.
That's something to really keep in mind as you guys are on your own journeys.
Yeah.
Just like have faith in yourself. Don't be afraid to take risks. It's okay
going.
to make mistakes. That was another big thing that I learned from you, where it's like the authenticity and owning your mistakes instead of trying to be this perfect beauty pageant person. Like, that reads so much better.
Yeah.
When you're leading a team of people.
Yes. I don't always say or do the right thing in and with my business, or even really in life, but You do have to just keep going and give yourself some grace, and you have to let yourself make the mistakes and then learn from them.
Yes.
You wouldn't learn anything if you weren't making mistakes.
And overcome your mistakes.
And
you
it's
know?
always going to be another mistake. I've made a few today. I know I haven't even gotten to the office really to do any work today. And I'm forgiving myself, and I will get to it as soon as I can. I've got to run to FedEx.
Definitely.
I was supposed to do that this morning. Like, I do not have it all together, nor will I ever, but I'm going to allow myself, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to allow myself to make these mistakes.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of the journey, because you didn't come this far just to get this far, you know?
No, I'm going to keep on going.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that 2024 was a fabulous year. Obviously, it was our second season together working, and
now we're adding another podcast.
And now we're adding another show, which
people think I'm crazy.
We can tease a little because it comes out in January. I have so much going on.
I have so much going on. I also have a real estate license. So I run we have 2 locations, 7 sprayers, independent sprayers in and around Savannah. We have a wholesale department. We have the partners, and then we have direct to consumer, and then we have Amazon, and then we're on about 12 platforms, meaning like selling the products on there.
And then we have personal lives too, somewhere in the mix.
Somehow.
So, but yes, Michelle and I are collaborating on another show that is kind of more about the Savannah community and the process of, learning
it's
how to
Real Talk Savannah.
Yeah, and learning how to navigate the Savannah market if you're interested in
whatever
buying property.
way.
Yeah, or if you want to live in the market,
if you want to live,
sell in the market,
have a
fall
business
in love in the
here,
market.
fall in love. I mean, we're gonna have a couple of fun little emotional episodes, but it's mostly information. We have really great Savannah professionals on it that are going to guide you about in the market of Savannah, and whether you're going to rent an apartment or buy a commercial property on all levels. Like, if you're making some type of move in Savannah or change or want to do something, we are going to provide information for you.
Yeah, and I think we're hoping to more just bridge the community and connect the dots and just make the process a little bit more friendly and less confusing.
It's, buying a home or
or
where to go to dinner with your date.
Exactly, or just learning about new shops or new things going on around
businesses,
town.
Permitting.
Just I think what we want to do is get a better understanding of the market. Like, I don't own any properties or really live in that section, which you do, which has been interesting as we're discovering stuff. But I think it's just to help people feel more informed about the community and the processes behind establishing yourself in the community.
Just questions we all ask, and we don't know who to go to for answers. We'll have answers for you,
or we'll try our best to find out.
We'll try our best. But I do love this city, and so it's going to be an easy podcast because I love supporting the city.
Exactly. So keep an eye out for Real Talk Savannah coming in January, and I don't know if we should make resolutions for 2025, but I think
that's
just
cliche.
Keep thinking bigger.
Year, I think next year is going to be really big for Beettan. I just have a feeling. And for me as a person, I'm ready to wrap this year up, and I'm excited.
Yeah, same.
I'm very excited for 2025. I really think Beettan has done so well this last month of December. I think it's just a little glimpse of what's to come, because we've had a really, really good December for the company. And I've made a ton of changes in my life, in business. The business has moved to a new location. Just lots of change that it's making me so excited about 2025.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some stuff is clearing out, and I'm paving the way for some really good stuff.
Yeah, you're building a good system. And then I also heard a rumor there may be some new products coming out the line.
Yes,
too,
we have new products.
We don't have to get into now, but keep your eyes out, fam.
A few new products coming too. So I'm super excited.
Great. Well, as always, Michelle, I love coming out from behind the camera and getting to talk to you and talk to our listeners, because
I like it because I usually zone out. I'll be done. I mean, that's how crazy my brain is. I'll just go. It's like something tweaks.
I run the camera and her eyes just stop moving, and then she talks for 20 minutes. And I'm like, wow, where did you come up with that?
And I don't even think I breathe. So
no.
So it's nice to sit down and speak with you, because it makes me slow down, listen. And then I like when I get all kooky like that, but it is
Yeah.
a good change up. I like having you on here too.
Well, we definitely had some really fabulous guests this year, and even if you were not mentioned, you are still in our hearts.
Anybody
hard
who
to
takes the
even-
time to come on here and takes the time to support this podcast and what we're trying to do, I am very grateful, and I wish all of you a great 2025.
Yeah,
And
Happy New Year.
let's leave this year with a bang.
Yes, let's do it. One tan at a time. All right. Bye, guys. Till next
Bye.
time.